My name is Dorothy Mitchell. I am 73 years old, and after becoming disabled, my own children stopped inviting me to family dinners. For 12 years, I quietly bore the burden, paying for the house, their lives, everything, while being slowly erased from my own home. Then, I quietly blocked their access to my accounts. When they came home to locked doors, well, let me tell you exactly what transpired. My story, sadly, is not unique. It reflects a growing societal challenge where elder abuse, particularly financial and emotional exploitation by family members, often goes unnoticed, shrouded in the complexities of familial bonds and unspoken expectations. Many elders find themselves in similar predicaments, navigating a silent struggle for dignity and recognition within their own households. My life changed forever in March 2010. I was 61, a regional manager, living a good life even 5 years after my husband Richard passed. My two children, Michael 38 and Jennifer 35, both lived in the beautiful four-bedroom colonial in suburban Connecticut that Richard and I had paid off years ago. The accident was on a Tuesday morning, black ice on Route 7. In 3 seconds, a spinal injury left me with permanent disability, bound to a wheelchair. The initial visits from Michael and Jennifer were filled with promises of support. "We are here for you, Mum. We will help with whatever you need. Family sticks together." I believed them, desperate for that familial connection in my new, frightening reality. The rehabilitation was brutal. 3 months of physical therapy, learning to navigate a world suddenly filled with too many stairs and not enough ramps. It was a profound adjustment, not just physically but mentally, adapting to a society that often overlooks the needs of its disabled population. The insurance settlement was substantial, enough to modify the house for accessibility and to live comfortably if I was careful. Yet what I did not realize then was that my children were already making plans. Just 2 months after my return, Jennifer broached the subject of assisted living. "I was 61, she said, not dying, just disabled." But the subtext was clear. I was now an inconvenience. My disability, rather than drawing them closer, seemed to push them away. They wanted their own places, they explained, hinting at the impossibility of adapting their lives around my needs. This moment highlighted a pervasive modern challenge: the societal impulse to externalize care for aging or disabled parents, rather than integrating it into the family unit. Something cold settled in my stomach when they framed my own home as a problem for my situation. That conversation should have been my first warning. Instead, something more insidious began. It started small. Michael stopped coming to the kitchen when I rolled in. Jennifer would take phone calls in another room. Their spouses, Greg and Brenda, barely acknowledged me. Then came the Sunday dinners, a 20-year tradition, now marked by a closed dining room door. Laughter and conversation stopped when I approached. The first time, Jennifer claimed it was a quick meal. The second, Michael mentioned takeout, but I saw my good china and smelled pot roast. By the 6th month, the excuses stopped. I would wheel past the dining room, seeing my entire family, children, spouses, grandchildren, laughing, talking, living without me. "Can I join you?" I asked once, only to be met with irritation in Jennifer's eyes. "Mum, we are kind of in the middle of something. Maybe later." There was no later. I began eating alone in my bedroom, listening to them bond over meals in my house, at my table, with my dishes. The isolation was crushing, a deep emotional wound inflicted by those who should have been my closest allies. For 12 years, I continued to pay for everything. Richard had been smart with money, and between his life insurance, our savings, and my disability settlement, I was very comfortable. When the children claimed they needed time to get on their feet after my accident, I agreed to cover all household expenses: property taxes, utilities, maintenance, groceries, everything. Just until we figure things out, Mum. 1 year became 2, then 5, then 12. 12 years of financial provision for a family that systematically excluded me, treating me like I was already dead. The financial burden was immense, but the emotional cost was immeasurable. This often happens in families where the older generation provides significant financial support, subtly shifting the dynamic from support to dependency, and sometimes to outright exploitation. The implicit contract of care and respect is broken, replaced by a transactional relationship where the elder becomes a resource rather than a person. I kept paying, foolishly hoping things would change, that they would remember I was their mother, a person. I was wrong. The breaking point arrived on my 73rd birthday. I woke with a small flutter of hope, remembering Richard's elaborate celebrations. By noon, neither Michael nor Jennifer, whose voices and laughter I heard downstairs, had come to see me. At 2 o'clock, Jennifer in the kitchen casually dismissed me when I tried to engage. She did not remember. That evening, I heard them singing Happy Birthday. My heart leapt, only to crash when I heard my grandson Tyler's voice, "Make a wish, Emma." My granddaughter, celebrating her birthday 2 weeks early for convenience. My own birthday, that very day, was not worth mentioning. I sat in the hallway, listening to them celebrate, and something inside me quietly cracked and fell away. I wheeled back to my bedroom and opened my laptop. It took 3 hours to compile a complete financial picture. The numbers were staggering. Property taxes alone were $46,000 a year. Utilities averaged $1,800 a month. Groceries, maintenance, insurance, repairs, over $73,000 annually. For 12 years, nearly $900,000. I had spent almost $1 million supporting a family that could not remember my birthday, that locked me out of Sunday dinners, that treated me like an inconvenient piece of furniture. That night, I made a decision. If they wanted to treat me like I did not exist, I would show them what my absence truly meant. My decision was not born of momentary anger, but a cold, deliberate resolve. Effective retribution, or as I prefer to call it, justice, requires patience, precision, and perfect timing. I spent the next 3 weeks planning meticulously. First, I documented everything. Every excluded family dinner, every ignored conversation, every forgotten birthday and holiday. I kept a log with dates and times, took photos of closed dining room doors, and saved receipts from meals eaten alone. The meticulous logging of these details served not only as evidence, but also as a powerful psychological tool for me, reaffirming the reality of my experiences against the gaslighting of my family. Next, I reviewed my finances with Gerald Hopkins, a forensic accountant I hired discreetly. He came to my bedroom office and confirmed the extent of my financial contribution. "Mrs. Mitchell," he said, "you have paid $897,342.81 for this household since your accident. That includes property taxes, all utilities, homeowners insurance, maintenance, repairs, and an average of $10,200 monthly in groceries you have not eaten." He provided an ironclad, detailed report for legal purposes. This financial audit was critical. It quantified the abstract feeling of being used into concrete, undeniable figures, exposing the depth of their exploitation. Then, I called my attorney, Patricia Weinstein, whom I trusted implicitly from handling Richard's estate. She listened without interruption, her expression darkening. "Dorothy," she concluded, "what they are doing is elder abuse, financial exploitation at minimum. While I did not wish to prosecute my own children, I wanted them to understand what they had taken for granted. I wanted my house back, and I wanted them to feel a fraction of what they had made me feel for 12 years. My plan, as I laid it out for her, was harsh, but legal. "You own the house outright," Patricia confirmed. "They have no lease, no rental agreement, nothing in writing. They are living there at your discretion, which you can revoke at any time. And since you have been paying all expenses, they have no legal claim to tenancy rights." "Even grandparents' rights?" I inquired, thinking of my grandchildren, "were not applicable in Connecticut unless there was a divorce or death of a parent, neither of which applied." The law was on my side, providing a clear path to reclaim my agency. I felt something I had not felt in 12 years: power. "When do you want to do this?" Patricia asked. "Thanksgiving weekend," I said. "That is certainly a statement," she replied. "They made me invisible. It was time to make them see me again." The month leading up to Thanksgiving was surreal. I moved through the house like a ghost, but now a ghost with a purpose. Every slight, every exclusion, every moment of being treated like I did not exist only strengthened my resolve. Michael brought his new boat over, a purchase likely facilitated by his lack of household expenses, yet neither he nor Greg mentioned my $600 monthly payment for the dock fees. Jennifer redecorated my living room without asking, saying I did not spend time in there anyway. The grandchildren grew more distant, reflecting the learned behavior of their parents. Every Sunday dinner, the dining room door closed, and I ate alone, but I was counting down. Each exclusion was another nail in the coffin they were building for themselves, a testament to their self-absorbed negligence. I quietly made my arrangements. Patricia prepared formal eviction notices. I contacted a locksmith. I moved my important documents and valuables to a safe deposit box. I rented a ground-floor apartment across town, perfect for my wheelchair. Most importantly, I called my bank. I began the process of removing my children's authorization from every account they had access to, including the joint checking and household accounts. These changes would take effect the Monday after Thanksgiving. In a final act of strategic documentation, I asked them to join me for Thanksgiving dinner. Michael and Jennifer, citing their tradition and the children's expectations, refused. "I am asking if your mother can eat Thanksgiving dinner with her family in her own house," I pressed. "We will think about it," Michael finally said. They never got back to me. On Thanksgiving morning, the house hummed with activity, the smell of turkey, excited voices. No one came to get me. At 2 o'clock, I wheeled past the dining room, seeing them all gathered, holding hands for grace. Michael, at the head of my table, offered a prayer about gratitude and family and blessings. I went back to my room, ate a sandwich, and made my final phone calls. Everything was set for Friday morning. The day after Thanksgiving, the day I became visible again. Friday morning dawned cold and clear. Adrenaline sang through my veins. At 6:30, I called the locksmith. At 7 o'clock, I transferred my essential belongings into my van. The movers would come later for my furniture, but today was about the message. At 7:45, I heard the familiar chaos of my family preparing to leave for Black Friday shopping, their vehicles all purchased with money they had saved by not paying for 12 years. I stayed in my room, listening to them move through the house like they owned it, because they thought they did. At 8:15, the locksmith arrived. 20 minutes later, the last car pulled out of the driveway. I met the locksmith crew at the front door. Every exterior door I confirmed: front, back, side, garage. And I want the security system code changed. While they worked, I methodically went through the house, finding the household account checkbook in Michael's room and a folder in Jennifer's desk labeled Mum's Expenses, detailing how much they had saved. They had been tracking it, celebrating it. The audacity. The locksmith finished at 10:30. All set. I paid him in cash. "You have been very professional, ma'am," he said. "I have been doing this for 20 years. I have changed locks for divorces, evictions, all kinds of situations, but I have never seen someone as calm as you." I smiled. I have had 12 years to prepare for this moment. After he left, I tested the new locks and changed the security system code from Richard's birthday, which everyone knew, to the date of my accident. The date, everything changed. Finally, I logged into my bank account and executed the changes. Joint checking closed, household account transferred to my name, credit cards cancelled. The confirmations popped up on my screen, each one a small victory. The house was silent around me, truly mine for the first time in 12 years. I made myself a cup of tea, wheeled to the front window, and waited. They would be home soon, and they were in for quite a surprise. They returned at 2:30. Michael reached the front door first. I heard his key slide into the lock. Turn. Stop. "That is weird," he called out. "My key is not working." "Let me try mine," Jennifer's voice followed. Another failed attempt. They tried every door, rattling the garage, testing windows, their voices growing louder, more frantic. Michael called my phone. I let it ring. He called again and again. Finally, I answered. "Mum, we are locked out. Something is wrong with the locks." "Nothing is wrong with the locks, Michael. They work perfectly fine. You just do not have keys that fit them anymore." Silence. Then I changed the locks. "This is my house. I am revoking your permission to live here. Is this some kind of joke?" Michael stammered. "Do I sound like I am joking?" My voice was steady, calm. "Come around to the front porch, all of you. I will meet you at the door, but I will not be opening it." 3 minutes later, they were all gathered on my front porch. 8 people loaded with shopping bags, staring at my door like it had betrayed them. I wheeled up to the window beside the door where they could see me clearly. "Mum, open this door right now," Michael demanded. "No." "We live here," Jennifer's voice cracked. "You have been living here," I corrected at my discretion, which I am withdrawing. "You cannot do this," Greg stepped forward, claiming rights. "Actually, you do not. No rights at all." I checked with my attorney very carefully. "You have no lease, no rental agreement, nothing in writing. You have been living in my house rent-free for 12 years, and now you are not." Brenda started crying, pleading. "Dorothy, please think about the children. Where are we supposed to go?" "That is an excellent question. I have been wondering the same thing for 12 years. While you excluded me from Sunday dinners in my own dining room, while you celebrated Thanksgiving without me yesterday, while you forgot my birthday, while you treated me like I was already dead." "That is not fair," Jennifer shouted. "We have been taking care of this house. With my money," my voice cut through hers like ice. "With money I have been paying for 12 years, $897,342.81 to be exact." The number hung in the air like a bomb. I watched their faces change as they did the math. Michael's jaw went slack. Jennifer turned pale. "That is not possible," Michael stammered. "It is not only possible, it is documented." I held up the leather portfolio. Every payment, every bill, every expense. 12 years of financial records showing that I have paid for literally everything while you all lived here and treated me like I was invisible. "We did not treat you," Jennifer started. "Do not." My voice was sharp. "Do not you dare lie to me right now. I have a log, dates, times, photos, 87 Sunday dinners I was excluded from, 23 holidays, 12 birthdays you forgot. My attorney has copies of everything. You are threatening us with lawyers. Greg's face flushed red. Over hurt feelings? Over elder abuse, I said flatly. Financial exploitation. That is what Patricia called it. She wanted to prosecute. I said no because, despite everything, you are still my children. But I am done being used. Tyler spoke up, his voice uncertain. Grandma, where are we supposed to go? My heart squeezed. The grandchildren. They were innocent in this. But sometimes collateral damage is unavoidable. Tyler, I am sorry. Truly, but that is a question for your parents. The parents who have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars by not paying rent, utilities, or property taxes for over a decade. I imagine they can afford to find somewhere to live. We cannot afford first and last month's rent plus security deposits for 2 families, Michael exploded. Not on short notice like this. Then you will figure it out. Like I had to figure out how to live with a disability while you all carried on without me. Like I had to figure out how to eat dinner alone while listening to my family laugh in the next room. This is revenge, Jennifer said coldly. Pure revenge. You are absolutely right, I agreed. It is. And you know what? It feels good. For the first time in 12 years, I feel like I matter, like I exist, like I am more than just a checkbook you ignore until you need something. Brenda tried a different approach. Dorothy, please, let us talk about this rationally. Come out here and we will work something out. No, I am done talking. I am done being rational while you are irrational. I am done being the understanding mother who keeps giving while you keep taking. I tapped the window. You have until Monday morning to remove your personal belongings. After that, anything left in the house will be disposed of. Monday? Michael's voice pitched high. That is 2 days. You have had 12 years. I think 2 days is generous. What about our mail? Our official documents? I will forward your mail. You should have done that 12 years ago anyways, since this was never your permanent address. As for documents, you have until Monday to get them. I cannot believe you are doing this, Jennifer said, tears streaming down her face. We are your children. Then act like it, I said quietly. You made me feel like I died in that accident. You mourned me while I was still alive. Mum, please. Michael pressed his palm against the window. Do not do this. We can fix this. We can make things right. No, Michael, you cannot. Do you know what you would have to do to make this right? You would have to give me back 12 years. You would have to undo every Sunday dinner where you locked me out, every birthday you forgot, every time you looked through me like I was not there. My voice cracked slightly, the first emotion I had allowed to show. You cannot give me back the time you stole, the dignity you took, the mother you erased. We made mistakes, Jennifer said desperately. But this is extreme. This is cruel. Cruel? I felt something hot flash through me. Let me tell you what is cruel. Cruel is listening to your grandchildren laugh in the next room and knowing they have been taught not to include you. Cruel is paying for a house where you are treated like you are already in the grave. Cruel is watching your own children discuss your life like you are not sitting right there. We never meant, Brenda began. You never thought, I interrupted. That is the problem. You never thought about me at all. I was just what? Convenient. A free house, free utilities, free everything in down while you built your lives and pushed me further and further to the margins. I took a breath, steadying myself. I also closed the joint bank account this morning, changed the household account to my name only, cancelled the credit cards I had added you to. As of Monday, automatic payments stop. If you have bills set to autopay from those accounts, I suggest you update them this weekend. Michael's face went from pale to red. You are cutting us off completely. I am stopping my financial support of people who do not support me. There is a difference. What about the grandchildren? Jennifer tried again. Sophia is in dance classes. Jake needs his orthodontist appointments. You are going to punish them too. The manipulation was so transparent, it was almost insulting. I am not punishing anyone. I am simply no longer paying for things that are not my responsibility. Those children have 2 parents each, 4 working adults. Between you should be able to cover dance classes and braces. We have other expenses, Greg shouted. Car payments, student loans, credit cards. Not my problem, I said simply. Those are your debts, your choices, your responsibility. Tyler looked at me through the window, and I saw something in his eyes I had not seen in years. He was really seeing me. Not through me, not past me, but actually seeing me. Grandma, he said quietly, were we really that bad to you? The question nearly broke me. Yes, Tyler, you were all of you. And the worst part is that you did not even notice. Emma started crying. Sophia was already sobbing. Jake looked confused, his 8-year-old brain trying to process what was happening. You have until 5:00 p.m. on Monday, I said firmly. Patricia will be here at 5:01 to document anything left behind. After that, it is legally considered abandoned property, and I can dispose of it however I see fit. This is not over, Michael said, his voice hard. We will fight this. We will get lawyers. Go ahead, I said. Patricia is already prepared for that. And Michael, good luck finding one who will take your case when they hear the details. I watched them stand on my porch for another 10 minutes, arguing among themselves. Blame flying in every direction. Finally, they left. They had to. There was nowhere else to go but a hotel, and the reality of that expense was probably just starting to sink in. This confrontation, though painful, served as a crucial lesson in personal accountability, a stark illustration of the consequences of neglect and entitlement. It also highlighted a broader socio-economic trend where adult children, accustomed to parental financial cushions, are often ill-prepared for independent living, a scenario that often plays out in elder exploitation cases. I spent that weekend in perfect peace. My house, my space, no closed doors, no whispered conversations that stopped when I entered a room. No smell of dinners I was not invited to share. On Saturday morning, I went room by room with my phone, documenting everything. Photos of Michael's belongings in the master bedroom. Photos of Jennifer's craft supplies taking over the den. The grandchildren's toys scattered everywhere. They came back Sunday morning with boxes and anger. I stayed in my room with the door locked while they loaded their cars, hearing things breaking, Michael punching a wall, Jennifer sobbing. I did not care. Monday at 4:30, most of the obvious items were gone, but they had left plenty behind. Furniture they could not fit in their temporary lodgings, boxes of holiday decorations, racks of clothes in the closets. At 5:00 p.m., Patricia arrived with her assistant and a photographer. Dorothy, she said, giving me a hug. How are you holding up? Better than I have in 12 years. We documented everything they had left behind. Patricia's assistant made detailed notes. The photographer captured it all. By 6:00 p.m., we had an ironclad record. What do you want to do with it all? Patricia asked. Donate what is usable. Trash the rest. I want this house empty and mine again. She nodded. I will arrange it. My children tried to reconcile 3 weeks later. Jennifer called, crying, saying they had made a mistake. Michael showed up at the door with flowers. They sent the grandchildren with letters they had clearly been coached to write. I listened. I read the letters. I even let Michael in for coffee. But I did not let them move back in. I did not restore their account access. I did not resume paying their bills. You taught me something valuable, I told Michael that day. You taught me that being someone's mother does not guarantee their respect. That has to be earned. And you have shown me for 12 years that you do not respect me. Maybe one day we can rebuild something, but it will not be the same. And it will not be with me supporting you financially while you erase me emotionally. This firm boundary setting is a crucial step for victims of elder abuse, a reclaiming of self-worth and financial autonomy that often requires immense courage. That was 6 months ago. I still live in my house. Now truly alone, but not lonely. I have joined a book club, started volunteering at the library, made friends who actually want to spend time with me. My children and I have dinner once a month at a restaurant. Neutral ground. They are learning to treat me like a person again, but it is slow. The grandchildren are starting to open up. I got my justice, not revenge, justice. There is a difference, and that locked door, it finally made them see what they had been shutting out all along. My experience underscores the profound impact of financial independence in old age, allowing me to reshape my life on my own terms, free from the shadow of exploitation.